My name is AJ Vanderelli, and I'm a local artist and artist advocate and work with Charlotte McGraw in this WAV program for creating community creatures based off of Charlotte's work. I'm primarily an oil painter. However, I do a lot of mixed media work, recycling like objects and some collage work within that. I primarily focus on portraits and plein air. I was first introduced to WAVE when they were the Dick and Jane project and was just super impressed with the artists that were leading the programming for that. And I thought it was a great concept. And I've worked with adults with disabilities for decades, and being that we amplify voices, or back then at the time it was Dick and Jane Project, the way that they brought everyone together, from people who need a little extra assistance to, like your typical person, and like going through the process of recording an album and bringing in an artist to design the album cover and working with schools. I mean, it was just like so many layers to the programming.
My name is Charlotte McGraw, and I'm an artist. I do my art through Goodwill of Ohio. I do a lot of collaging. I also do painting. I do spray painting, which makes my creatures sometimes come out really good.
I was excited to partner with Charlotte on this Community Creatures workshop because Charlotte is delightful, number one, to be around. Like, just absolutely so much fun. And then I just have a huge respect for her work. She's super talented and a storyteller, and her work is very important to this community and other communities.
Community creatures to me are people that live in society and they're ignored. I show a lot of emotion in my artwork. I've been through some things, and I show that through my creatures. And I know how they feel. You're a human being, no matter what. You're a human being, and you should be treated as such. What you think I can't do, I can do better, because everybody doesn't do everything the same. And just because you have a disability doesn't mean that you can't do what you want. I'm an advocate for that.
And that's who the characters are.
Yeah.
So that, like, what I would say about your work, like, each character has a story and is living a story, and they're not perfect.
Yeah.
They're accepted and loved and encouraged to be better.
Right. My creatures are people in society showing people in society, hey, we can do this.
Which translates really well into, the actual workshop. And the people that have attended the workshop aren't collage artists necessarily. Some of the people that have regularly attended have collaged in their time, but it's been a cathartic thing. Like the creatures that people are making, it's not necessarily the product. It's like spending time with people, tearing paper, cutting paper, and coming together and talking about things. And emotional things, like creating art, or those tasks help unlock parts of us. And when you're around other people that accept you, you're able to work through those problems. So that's happened, even for what I've been going through in my personal life, having this, workshop and spending time with Charlotte and the other people that come have really helped me work through like some of the emotional baggage, right? And creating the creatures that, everyone's making a creature, we document the creature, then we're going to put the creatures in the community. So the community, the two communities will live together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a workshop with the women in Marysville prison. They were excited that I was doing this workshop with them. I said, you can make your creatures any way you want to. And they were like, oh, okay. And I say about within a week, we got connected, really connected. They were telling me, said, I'm so glad you're doing this because it gives us something else to do during the day. And so at the end of the workshop, I went back to the prison. They had a party for me, and I started crying. They said, we love you, Miss Charlotte. And I said, I love you guys too.
For the Community Creatures Workshop, it's based off of Charlottesville and Charlotte's, creatures that exist in Charlottesville, and we're bringing those into the community, and the community is able to create their own creature.
Charlottesville is a community where people with disabilities, no matter what it is, they can come and live in Charlottesville. They're not laughed at. They're not poked fun at. They're loved. And they're who they are.
I would just imagine it's because her Charlottesville has such an impact on the spaces it's existed in. Like when Charlottesville was in my gallery space that I had at the time, every person that came through the space was super impressed with the work and the story about each piece and Charlotte's story, because it's a reflection of Charlotte. And I think that that's really the importance of the workshop, is just showing that, like, it's limitless. Like, what we are capable of is limitless, and we need to share that and uplift everybody else. And so Charlotte's work is really important, and for people to understand more of who she is, what her work's about, and how it can change your life to do those things as well, to make and create. Because those characters are your narrative, that's your story. Each person is your story.
Yeah.
It's the way you create the characters.
Yeah.
They have like this life and uniqueness to, their faces are funny, their bodies are in motion and like interesting positions, all assembled with just scraps of paper and images. We all get together. We have all these supplies out. Nobody has to bring anything. It's completely free. You just walk in, grab your stuff, and sit down and just make a creature.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, we're not like, you didn't make a creature this time. What it's ended up being is that we end up with regular people who come, like, it keep coming back. Every other session that we meet, we have a guest artist as well. So we bring another artist in from the community to kind of share their experience. So it's like about sharing. Charlotte talks about her work. I talk about my work. And we listen to music.
Yeah,
too.
we listen to music. We have coffee. We snack on snacks. Being here helps with my depression. I'm around other people that are going through their own situation, and I don't feel alone. They care. That really makes me feel good.
The workshop is open to everyone,
Yeah.
all ages, all demographics.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Novice to yeah.
You're
If
welcome.
you've never touched a pair of scissors, we have paper tearing.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But we will help you with the scissors. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
You're
As long as you're
welcome.
nice. Yeah.
I think that amplified voices, they're touching a lot of people in the community. they're letting people know that are struggling, hey, we're here. If you want to do a little art or something, come on in. We'd love to have you.
Even if someone isn't necessarily going to sit in with us and
Right.
do the workshop, they're still accepted into the space,
Right.
provided with like coffee or water
Coffee.
or a snack.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. And I think that that's the biggest impact. And by being a space that operates like that allows other people who are participating to see that and understand that, oh, somebody off of the street isn't a threat. They're also looking for the same thing that you're looking for. And it's a trickle down,
Yeah.
trickle out effect.
And I think it's good because a lot of people just feel like they're alone.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares about them. And that's not true.
Mm-hmm. And then what I think is going to be really cool is when we put them in the community and how much joy the public is going to get from them. And they're not even going to understand why. They're not going to know who these creatures are. But they're going to see them and they're going to be like, what? What is going on? Where do these things come from?
That's what.
And they're going to they're just going to delight in them because they're so awkward in the way that they exist. They're just,
people
it's
come
just
in
gonna
the
be beautiful.
gallery and they're like, what were you thinking?
Yeah, exactly.
I said, that's my own little world,
Yeah. I've been impressed with the organization for a long time, and it's an honor to be invited to participate in with the space, with Charlotte, with everybody who works here, because they're just so easygoing, and non-judgmental. I like the variety. These forms of expression. That's what's going to make the biggest impact on the community is through creativity. You want to bedazzle people and also to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
And I think and to be respected. And I think that that's something this organization also does is, amplifies those voices like in a real authentic way.
Yeah.
Charlotte, it's been a pleasure to come here every other Friday and work with you. Get to see you more regularly. So that's been cool.
Well, I'm happy to see you.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
You brighten up my day when I come on Friday.
Facts.
Yeah.
Same.